A thread by Carlos Osuida. Susan Rice shows why she was a moronic amateur, simply playing at being National Security Advisor. I'm sure that President Trump got a good laugh out of this. From Breitbart.com, Rice, U.S. will be unsalvageable, irreparably damaged if Trump reelected. Quote, our allies don't know what to make of us. We're not leading them with confidence based on principle and shared values. That's all you need to read. This blithering idiot thinks that alliances mean that we lead other nations. Think about that. No wonder Obama was such a geopolitical screw up. Here's what Trump helped accomplish from the Times of Israel. Sudan and Israel say talks underway for deal to normalize ties. Sudan, the country that no American president could help improve. When did it start? February. Didn't know that, did you? From Reuters, Israel and Sudan will push to normalize relations. Israeli officials. Netanyahu and Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, head of Sudan's Sovereign Council, secretly met in Uganda. As a result, Sudan granted Israel overflight privileges for Israeli commercial flights, and now Sudan will normalize relations with Israel. The Sudanese have said that the only person they trust is Trump. That's because he treats all sides equally. Holy schlamoli, an idea so insane it just might work. King Abdullah II of Jordan said this, I'm paraphrasing, the best role the U.S. can play is that of facilitator and the country that throws its weight behind ideas that the rest of the world conceives. The locals must do the heavy lifting, he said. Abdullah said that the world's ties with the U.S. are stronger than ever. It's because Trump waits to be asked. Remember some Obama lackey jackass saying that Obama led from the rear? You know what that is? Fat generals sending others out to die. Because of our allies, Iraqi generals went to the very front line of the battles. Doing so made their men's morale shoot through the roof. The generals appeared one street over from the battle. They traveled with only one or two staffers, and at the front, they listened. The Saudis trained them in this warfighting approach, and it happened in months. Some generals, such as Abdul Wahab al-Sadi, learned the new techniques in days. He's an absolutely brilliant man. Everybody knows him, even little girls. Link in the description, girl looking for the military humanist. The previous government fired him for not being a lackey of Iran. This was after he basically saved the country from the Islamic State. But the counterterrorism service is closely linked to the US. Iran is losing all influence. Al-Sadi follows this connection because Trump doesn't tell him what to do. Al-Sadi allows this connection because Trump doesn't tell him what to do. During the Battle of Mosul, Al-Sadi said he didn't have foreign advisors. True. His aides had foreign advisors. And Americans and Brits were allowed to go along for the ride if they wore Iraqi uniforms. They also didn't speak to Al-Sadi. They spoke to his aides. We had air power that answered to local Iraqi commanders on the ground. American Joint Terminal Attack Controllers, JTACs, airmen on the ground, called in the strikes after receiving orders from Iraqis. In combat videos, you can hear the orders being given. Susan Rice oversaw the outrageously stupid Pentagon arming and training of Syrian rebels. Most were sleepers of terrorist groups. The few who didn't defect or surrender beheaded people. Abdullah al-Issa, a 19-year-old soldier of the Syrian Arab army. There he is, 19 years old. He looks like he's a child because he has thalassemia. No way does Susan Rice, they beheaded him, by the way. No way does Susan Rice even know his name. And of course, Benghazi. Rice and Obama are catastrophic flops. The country can't survive Joe Biden. How many times does Trump have to fix the economy? This time he did it in 5 months. Obama couldn't do it in 8 years. And Susan Rice is his loyal attack dog. A second Trump term ensures that his changes will become permanent. Since the squad is growing, that means Democrats will shut themselves out of power for decades. Republicans have gotten used to winning, so they'll remain Trumpian. The future is bright. Even leftists are laughing at the ridiculous Democratic National Convention. One said it was like an NPR fund drive based on hate. Hate doesn't win elections. And now that Democrats have officially embraced the rioting and are calling for more, they're doomed. That alone tells you that they don't have a secret plan to steal the election. They've demolished their brand. If they were going to steal the election, they would have ratcheted down the violence, insults, invective, and hate. They'd be calm, knowing that they were in the catbird seat. No. They're doing this because they think it works. They are disoriented. Without changing, Trump became the calm presidential one. Even Tim Pool is grudgingly admitting that. Remember Armand Assante? In late middle age, he became one of the greatest male dramatic actors of all time. His remake of On the Beach is far better than the original. Be warned, it's one of the most gut-wrenching films ever made. After a nuclear war, the only place free of radioactive fallout is Australia, but the fallout is coming. The government issues suicide kits for the country. Asante is the commander of an American nuclear submarine. There's one more place to go, but he's fallen in love with an Aussie and he can't take her. You have to be very strong to understand what's being said. It's not exploitative, just realistic. In the midst of his transformation into an astonishing dramatic actor, Asante became a stunning comedic actor without changing. How is that possible? Only a few people have done it. Fatal Instinct, 1993 theatrical trailer, link in the description. You need humility. Trump, as his supporters know, is humbled by our support. He always lets us know. Susan Rice and her god of incompetence, Obama, are arrogant. That's why Trump plays them like this. Roy Clark, 12th Street Rag. Any guitarist will tell you that technical skill on display is absolutely mind-blowing. Roy Clark, Armand Assante, Donald John Trump, complete and total masters of their respective arts.